Welcome to The Explainer. Listen, if you're a corporate executive, a venture investor, or just a professional trying to track emerging tech, you already know the artificial intelligence news cycle can feel, well, a lot like trying to drink from a fire hose. So today, we're taking the absolute most impactful insights from the Next in AI daily newsletter, and we're synthesizing them down into a clear, 360-degree executive overview. We're going to track the maturation of AI, starting way up at the macroeconomics of trillion-dollar investments, and then we'll work our way right down to the micro-agent workflows that are quite literally executing tasks on your desktop today. Okay, let's dive right into this.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're starting with economics and AI expectations. Then we'll move into big tech's infrastructure push, look at solving the trust problem, and finally, wrap the whole thing up with the era of AI agents. Section 1. Economics and AI expectations. Let's look at the tension between investment and reality. To set the stage here, IEEE Spectrum recently posed a really provocative question. They asked, do we really need smarter AI to cure cancer? Because for the last couple of years, the working assumption has basically been that simply building larger, smarter models is this ultimate silver bullet for all of our complex societal problems. But some experts are starting to push back on that narrative.
And honestly, it is a critical debate right now because of this staggering figure. By some estimates, over $1 trillion, yeah, that's a trillion with a T, has already been poured into artificial intelligence. It's an almost absurd amount of capital. Yet the big tech players, your Metas and OpenAIs, they're still not content with today's capabilities. They have their sights set on even more powerful, massive models. But it begs the question, what is all this capital actually doing to the broader market right now?
Well, there's a pretty stark contrast presented in a recent Goldman Sachs report. On one hand, we have this expected productivity boom. You know, the promise that AI is eventually going to save the economy by making us all hyper-efficient. But on the other hand, we have our current reality. Right now, building out this massive AI capability is incredibly expensive, and it's actually contributing to inflation. We're essentially stuck in this weird waiting period, absorbing all the heavy costs of the build-out while we just sort of wait for the productivity boom to fully arrive.
Section 2. Big tech's infrastructure push. Let's talk about scaling models, speeding inference, and building the network.
So where exactly is all that money going while we wait? A huge chunk of it is flowing directly into foundation model updates. And we are watching an absolute all-out battle for supremacy here. OpenAI is coming out swinging with GPT-5.5 Instant, updating ChatGPT's default model to deliver far more accurate answers and significantly reduced hallucinations. Meanwhile, Google is firing right back. They're making their Gemini API file search multimodal to help developers build verifiable retrieval augmented generation, and they've accelerated Gemma 4 for faster inference using multi-token prediction. It is just a relentless race for efficiency.
But here's the thing, you cannot run these gigascale models without serious physical hardware and networking. It's not just code in the cloud. OpenAI recently introduced a brand new supercomputer networking protocol called MRC, or Multipath Reliable Connection, to improve resilience in these massive AI training clusters. NVIDIA's Spectrum X is jumping on this immediately, integrating it to set the new standard for gigascale AI networking. And to physically manufacture all this infrastructure, NVIDIA and Corning have announced a multi-year partnership to really strengthen the US supply chain. Ultimately, the software is only as good as the physical network it runs on.
Section 3. Solving the trust problem. We're looking at alignment, red teaming, and fact-checking. Because as these models get incredibly fast and powerful, we hit a brick wall. The biggest bottleneck to enterprise adoption isn't speed anymore, it's trust. As AI enters critical domains like healthcare and finance, it remains vulnerable. Historically, AI red teaming, which is basically how we test these models for vulnerabilities, has been incredibly manual. Operators are spending weeks handcrafting attacks and scores. But researchers are totally redefining this for the agentic era. We are now seeing automated systems that assemble attacks and transforms dynamically, reducing that red teaming time from weeks down to literally hours. It's a massive shift.
And this brilliant concept illustrates another major shift in how we secure trust. It's called longitudinal alignment. Right now, most AI gets aligned based on a quick thumbs up or thumbs down right after it generates a response. But real-world decisions don't work like that, right? They unfold over time. Longitudinal alignment treats human preference as dynamic. It actually looks at the real-world consequences of an AI's advice and uses contextual reflection to align the model with long-term positive outcomes, rather than just immediate satisfaction. It's a fascinating evolution in how we train models to actually be helpful.
And the results of building this verifiable trust are massive. Take a look at this number, 0.94. In a recent randomized controlled trial involving over 7,400 ratings by oncology clinicians, researchers tested something called atomic fact-checking. Basically, this is where AI treatment recommendations are decomposed into individually verifiable claims that link directly back to source guideline documents. The result? A Cohen's d effect size of 0.94 on clinician trust. Now, for those of us who haven't taken a stats class in a while, that is a huge leap. It proves that when you can show exactly where the AI got its answer, professionals will actually trust it in high-stakes environments.
Section 4. The era of AI agents. This is where we put AI to work in everyday processes.
So, when you combine that gigascale infrastructure with actual, verifiable trust, what do you get? You get the era of AI agents. Because these models are now faster and more trustworthy, they are rapidly transitioning from passive chatbots into autonomous agents. And man, we are seeing this everywhere. In the enterprise space, AWS SageMaker is rolling out agent-guided workflows, while NVIDIA and ServiceNow are partnering up to deploy autonomous AI agents across whole organizations. In high-precision manufacturing, we're looking at physics-grounded multi-agent architectures handling super risk-constrained numerical workflows for things like CNC machining. And even in healthcare, Symptom AI is deploying conversational agents to assess patient symptoms in everyday life, not just in tightly curated clinical trials.
But hey, this isn't just happening at a massive enterprise scale. It is hitting the consumer and startup space immediately. Let's do a quick product hunt lightning round to see the sheer velocity of this everyday agentic workflow.
These tools literally just launched, and they show exactly how fast this market is moving. We've got DevAlly using AI for instant accessibility compliance. Agelix is bringing a truly agentic AI sidebar right into your Google Workspace. Mojar is making your documents instantly AI-ready. Conwa is acting as an open-source brain for your entire team. And Noli 1.0 is giving us a closed-loop proactive AI wiki. Listen, these aren't just new apps you have to go log into. They are agents seamlessly embedded directly into the digital workspaces you're already using every single day.
This incredible momentum is perfectly captured by a recent quote from NVIDIA regarding their ServiceNow partnership. They noted, "Enterprise AI has learned to generate. It has learned to reason. Now it is learning to act. We have officially moved past the novelty phase of just generating text. We are firmly in the execution phase, where agents string together complex workflows to actually get real work done."
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly critical question for you to consider. Is your organization actually ready for the shift from AI chat to autonomous agentic workflows? The infrastructure is being laid right now, the trust mechanisms are being proven, and the agents are already deploying. As the Next in AI newsletter reminds us, this landscape is changing daily. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.